We all have that picture, don't we? The perfect trip. Seeing the sights, tasting new food, discovery.
Absolutely.
But, for a lot of us, that picture gets a bit fuzzy the second you actually have to speak English.
Hmm.
Like at the airport or the hotel, just handling those basic, crucial things purely in English, that can really ramp up the anxiety, can't it?
Oh, it creates instant anxiety. Yeah, definitely. But what's interesting is how quickly that panic can disappear.
How so?
Well, you realize you don't actually need like 1,000 different phrases, just a few really strategic ones, a few templates.
Okay.
And we've done a deep dive into this great learning resource.
You crazy on your shades. That's English for Travel, Essential Conversations. It actually follows a traveler, Sarah, heading to London and breaks down her interactions.
Right, so our mission today isn't just about listing phrases, is it? It's more about looking at them, figuring out the sort of linguistic strategy,
Yeah.
why these particular ways of saying things in English work so well.
We're pulling out those simple scripts that take you from feeling, confused to feeling totally in control, step by step.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how this source material kind of presents English almost like an algorithm.
A tool.
An algorithm, how do you mean?
Well, if you use the right structures, the right templates, you instantly communicate politeness, clarity.
Ah, okay.
And that's the huge difference, isn't it? Between struggling, maybe getting frustrated, and just being helped efficiently. So yeah, our focus today is really nailing those structures that just save the day.
So you can stop worrying about the grammar and actually enjoy the trip itself.
Precisely. Shift that energy to the adventure.
Okay, so let's start with the big one, airport anxiety. I mean, that feels like the highest pressure spot, right?
It often is, yeah. So you walk up to that check-in counter, first hurdle.
Right. You need to say who you are, why you're there, clearly. The source seems to have one main template for this, right after you say hello.
It does. And that core template is, hello, I'm checking in for flight BA203 to London. Simple enough.
But notice how efficient it is. You're not messing around. You state the action. I'm checking in. Then boom, the key details. Flight number, destination.
That point about stating the purpose up front, that seems key. You're basically making it easier for the agent, right? Giving them exactly what they need to get started. Less thinking for them.
Exactly right. Minimizing their cognitive load, as the source suggests, it leads to faster service.
Okay, check-in started. What's next? Inevitably, bags.
Yep, you got to understand that question. Do you have any bags to check?
And the response, it shouldn't just be a number, like 1. That sounds a bit blunt, maybe.
It can, yeah. And the source really emphasizes this. Even in these tiny interactions, politeness oils the wheels.
So adding that magic word.
That's right. For everyone learning, honestly, the single most high-impact word you can learn is probably please. So the structure is, yes, 1 suitcase, please.
Just adding please.
By adding please, you're signaling, cooperation, courtesy. It makes the whole thing smoother. You really can't overstate how valuable simple courtesy is in English, especially for logistics.
Okay, so we've checked in, got through security, hopefully. Now we're on the plane. The vibe changes a bit, doesn't it? Less formal protocol, more about comfort.
Right. Asking for things. And this is where a slightly different but really crucial request phrase comes in.
Okay.
We shift the strategy slightly. We bring in the modal verbs, specifically could.
Could I have?
Exactly. The source points out that this conditional tense could is like a linguistic marker for, well, higher level politeness in English. It instantly softens any request.
So that core template for asking for anything, really water, blanket, whatever from a flight attendant, starts with a polite interruption and that modal verb.
Precisely. Excuse me, could I have some water, please?
Ah, I see the pattern. Excuse me, gets attention. Could I have is the polite ask, and please is the softener again.
That's the triple structure. You nail that, and honestly, you can ask for pretty much anything you need on that plane and expect a positive, helpful response.
Right. So we've navigated the airport pressure cooker, hopefully got our bags. Now the pressure shifts, doesn't it? It's less about the big institution, more about personal logistics. Finding your way, getting settled.
Exactly. Let's tackle getting around first. You've landed, you need a ride taxi, ride share, whatever. You need to tell the driver where to go with clarity.
Okay, what's the template for that?
It's simple, very robust. Hello, could you take me to the Grand Hotel, please?
There's that could you again, plus the destination.
And please.
See? Same structure, different context. Very effective. But, okay, you're in the taxi, you're moving. What's a common stress point for travelers then?
Oh, the cost. Especially in a new city, not knowing how much it's going to be,
Yeah.
the meter's running. Yeah, that can be stressful.
Right. So we need a phrase to sort of head off that anxiety. Ask about the cost up front.
And the source gives us a specific one for that. It does. A high-clarity phrase designed precisely to lower that financial worry. How much is the fare, please?
Fair. That sounds quite formal, though. If it's just a quick trip across town, wouldn't people say something more like, how much will this cost, or something? Does the source mention that?
That's a really good point. And people do sometimes say, how much does this cost? But the source insists on fare, or sometimes price, specifically because in this kind of transactional context, paying for a ride, those words are totally unambiguous.
Less room for misunderstanding.
Exactly. It's about maximizing clarity, even if it feels a tiny bit formal to a native speaker sometimes. For a learner, clarity is king. So stick with, how much is the fare, please?
Got it. Clarity over conversational ease, especially when money's involved. Okay, so taxi sorted, fare understood. We arrive at the hotel. Time to check in, get that room key.
Right. And this interaction is all about connecting you physically standing there with your booking probably made online. You need to state who you are and why you're there.
Using another template.
A simple, adaptable one. Good evening. I have a reservation under the name Sarah. Obviously, you just slot your own name in there.
I have a reservation under the name.
Okay. Then the clerk replies. And the key thing you need to listen for, the crucial info, is usually just numbers. Room number, floor number.
Right, so even if you don't catch the whole sentence, listen for 3 or 101 or second floor.
Exactly. Filter for those key numbers.
Exactly.
And let's not forget getting around inside the hotel. Big hotels can be confusing. You step out of your room, turn the wrong way.
Happens all the time.
It does. So you need simple phrases just to find basic things.
Okay.
Elevators, stairs.
And these are short and direct.
Very. Focus on the thing you need. Excuse me, where is the elevator? Or where are the stairs?
Just where is plus the noun.
That's it. No complex grammar needed. Just that core question, where is? Everyone understands that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got your base camp set up at the hotel. The pressure drops a bit now, right? We can move into the more fun stuff, experiences, interacting with locals, finding good food.
This is where you want to tech into local knowledge, I guess.
Exactly. And this, as you said earlier, is where it gets really interesting. Because now you're not just asking for a service. You're often asking for an opinion, an insight.
Like asking for a restaurant recommendation.
Precisely. And the source gives us the perfect structure for that. It uses the verb recommend.
Why is that important?
Because recommend is inherently softer. It's not demanding information, it's inviting it. So the phrase is, excuse me, could you recommend a good restaurant near here?
Could you recommend? Again, with the could, it feels like you're asking for their help, their expertise.
Exactly. It signals respect for their opinion. And that dramatically increases your chances of getting a friendly, helpful, maybe even detailed answer, rather than just a shrug.
Makes sense. But let's talk about when things go wrong. Communication breakdown. It happens, right? Someone talks too fast, uses words you don't know, maybe has a strong accent.
Absolutely happens, especially when locals get excited talking about their city or just naturally speak quickly. And the beginner can just freeze.
Yeah. So this brings us to what the source calls the communication lifeline. The really, really important phrases for managing the conversation itself.
This is critical. We should definitely spend a moment on this because the key mindset shift here is asking for clarification isn't admitting you failed. It's actually taking control of the conversation.
Okay, I like that. Taking control.
So if someone's speaking way too fast for you to follow, you must have this phrase ready. Could you speak more slowly, please?
Could you speak more slowly, please? Direct, polite.
And incredibly effective.
I love that the source gives you these specific tools for managing communication failure. That feels like real power for a learner. Why is asking them to speak more slowly so much better than just saying, like, I don't understand?
Because could you speak more slowly is actionable. It gives the speaker clear instructions on how to help you. If you just say, I don't understand, what do? They might just repeat the exact same complicated sentence just as fast.
Ah, right. Whereas asking them to slow down changes their delivery.
Exactly. It manages the speed, which gives your brain a chance to process the language. It's about controlling the input.
Okay. And what if it wasn't the speed, but maybe you just missed a specific word, like the name of that restaurant they recommended? You need them to rewind a bit.
That's the second lifeline phrase. Could you please repeat that?
Simple. Could you please repeat that?
Master those two. Asking someone to slow down asking them to repeat. And you, the learner, have the ultimate toolkit for managing conversation speed and clarity. That's huge for confidence.
Definitely. Okay, lifeline secure. Let's wrap this section up with ordering in a restaurant. You've used your recommendation phrase, found a place, sat down, the waiter comes over.
And they'll likely prompt you with something like, "Are you ready to order?"
Okay.
Hmm.
And your response. It needs to be clear, obviously, but also polite, right? I remember reading something about potential cultural missteps here.
Yes, absolutely. This is a big one. When you state what you want to eat, the source strongly discourages using the phrase, "I want."
Ah, because I want the soup sounds too demanding. A bit like a kid.
Precisely. In many English-speaking cultures, it can come across as abrupt, even rude or aggressive in a service context. The correct, polite, universally understood structure is always the conditional.
Which is?
"I would like," or the contraction, "I'd like."
Okay.
For beginners, maybe saying the full "I would like" is clearer and safer.
Okay, so the structure is, yes, I would like the soup and the fish, please.
Perfect. Yeah. That's a beautifully constructed phrase for ordering. It's polite, "I would like, please." It's clear, states exactly what you want, and it's perfectly structured for that situation. Hits all the right notes.
Excellent. And then the final step, paying up.
The practical necessity. But
Right.
close the transaction. Don't just stand up and walk out.
Right. Need to ask for the bill. What's the template?
Again, using that polite request form. "Could I have the check, please?"
Check. Or sometimes bill, right? Depending on where you are.
Exactly. Check. It's very common in the U.S. bill, perhaps more so in the UK and elsewhere. Both work. But the key is the "could I have" structure. It ensures you get what you need, smoothly. Hashtag outro.
Okay, so let's pull this all together. What does it all mean for someone listening, maybe planning a trip?
Well, I think it means you already have the essential tools, these high-impact scripts, these templates we've talked about. They cover so many of the core travel situations.
We've really seen the patterns, haven't we? The importance of could for politeness, the power of please, being direct about your purpose.
Yeah, and how these structured phrases, as the source confirms, really form the foundation for building genuine travel confidence.
It's not about being perfect, is it?
Not at all. It's about focusing on being understood. And using these proven templates lets you do that. You stop worrying about, every little grammar mistake, and
Yeah.
you start focusing on just succeeding in that interaction.
You're not just trying to avoid communication failure, you're actually executing a successful strategy.
That's a great way to put it. Be strategic, not flawless.
Right.
So yeah, we focused a lot today on the necessary stuff, the logistics, the communication repair strategies, asking for things. And maybe that raises an interesting final thought for you, the listener.
Right.
If you know you have the tools to handle a breakdown, if you feel confident asking someone to slow down or repeat something, think about how much that changes the whole experience. How much better will your trip actually be?
Because you're not weighed down by the fear of misunderstanding.
Exactly. Your focus can shift completely, away from worry and on to just enjoying the discovery, the place, the people. Which, at the end of the day, is the whole point, isn't it?
Absolutely. Have fun, explore.
And remember to send that postcard.